All right, I'm trying to fix the driver for my webcam. I wasn't even going to put a webcam on this, but there's something we need to discuss. We have some breaking news now. I'm sure other people are going to run with this information when it's confirmed in a few days or a week or so, but you're hearing it here first. We officially have a Walking Dead character crossing over into World Beyond. I hope this isn't a desperate gimmick to try to just lure fans along like the CRM and the crossover characters for Fear. No offense, but I feel like they were just a wasted gimmick to try to get more people to go from Walking Dead to Fear. I think this might just be a ratings ploy, but we'll get to that in a second. First off, I'm going to put a straw poll. Go ahead and vote how you're going to watch World Beyond. If you're going to watch World Beyond, I'm going to put a link in the video description, and I'm going to pin a comment down below. So go ahead and vote. You can do new episode as they air, new episodes when you get around to it. You can binge it. You can only watch if the reviews are good, and nope, not watching at all. Go ahead and vote, and then it'll give you the results. Anyhow, so here's World Beyond. Now, World Beyond is, I thought season 1, it was just trash. I thought it was an absolute waste of time. And it's not even total trash. I think it's more importantly a waste of time. Like, if you sit down and watch an episode of Batwoman, that would be like cinematic trash. Like, that's trash TV. Just utter garbage. I mean, when you watch shows like Fear the Walking Dead and World Beyond, even when you get really stupid scenes or really poorly written dialogue, there's still a polish to it that it's difficult calling it trash, even though when you compare it to, like, you know, The Walking Dead at its peak, you can argue it's trash. Anyhow, so there's going to be a character, and I'm going to reveal that character right now. So if you don't want the spoiler, which is ridiculous because it's not going to be a surprise on the show. They're going to run promos and announcements and teasers leading into World Beyond Season 2. But the character is Jadis, not Rick, Jadis. Here's the thing. I am a little worried this is one of those stunts where it's like fans are going to go nuts thinking, oh, it's Jadis, so it's got to tie into Rick somehow. I think it would be cool to get Rick back. I think it would be cool to get Rick back for something for the end of The Walking Dead. But how do you do that and keep his movies alive? Because to be honest, if you bring Rick back, it can't be something small. You can't just have him show up and do like nothing with no reunion. I mean, you could, but it would be kind of, it would be shitty to just have Rick wandering the woods and, you know, lurking around and you're like, oh, dun dun dun. And so what? You got to see Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes just wandering around. If they did something similar to Morgan when he was following them to Terminus. Even if you get Rick there, if it's not a reunion, where's the substance? You know, you just want him in there. So I have a feeling they're or I should say I'm worried they're popping Jadis into World Beyond just to try to tie the world together a little bit, but also to get fans that may not want to check out World Beyond as it airs, make it a priority to get those fans to go, oh, you know what? Well, I have to check it out. I mean, they strung me along for Fear the Walking Dead. I was out, and then we had crossover characters, so I'm like, well, I got to check it out. You know, I got to see what's going on with Morgan and Dwight. With this, I also think it's problematic when it comes to scripting it and outlining it. If you look back to this interview from comicbook.com, this is when World Beyond Season 1 ended, and they were kind of hinting or teasing at what's coming up for Season 2. And Scott Gimple says this, it's about Jadis going into World Beyond. He says, it's unlikely, but not impossible, that Jadis from The Walking Dead returns in the second and final season of World Beyond. Jadis, whose real name is Annie, was the leader of the junkyard, blah, 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 blah. It goes down here and it says, I hate being the person who can't answer these questions, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. World Beyond co-creator and producer Scott Gimple told Insider when talking about Jadis returning in the limited event series. He said, it is unlikely, but not impossible. Now, that was months and months ago. And now we're hearing that there's going to be an announcement that Jadis is in fact in it. So we went from that to this. And I do believe at that point in time, I don't think Gimple was saying, because he would have worded it much differently. We know Gimple. He would have been like, you know what? These characters and worlds are forever intertwined because of the CRM, and we know Jadis went there. So, hey, you never know. I can't tell you more than that, but you never know. I really think at this point in time, there was no deal, or no, they didn't have that worked in there for Jadis to be in CRM. That also leads me to believe that Jadis has a smaller role. Maybe if she has a bigger role in season 2, it's towards the end of the episodes and not so much in the beginning. Again, I'm just speculating. I haven't followed a lot at all about World Beyond, but I'm just speculating just based off of this. He went from that to now we know Jadis is going to be in World Beyond season 2 in some capacity. Also, I am speaking of the vote here. I will not be reviewing the episodes for World Beyond. I just don't think there's anything they can really do to right the I don't know, to turn the ship. I mean, for me, it's just not up my alley. It's not what I would want. It's not what I would sign on for a Walking Dead show, and it never will be. They're not aiming this content towards someone like me. They're just not, as far as my tastes of the show. It's going in a different direction. So I'm bowing out. I will keep an ear out for you guys if you guys love it, if something happens, if anything, if it's so bad that we need to discuss some stuff, or if it's so amazing we need to check it out. Maybe once a few episodes air, maybe if I do get around to, who knows what I'm going to be doing at that specific time, but there is a chance I could pop it on and we can discuss it to some degree. But you let me know if you're going to be watching Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead. The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2. You let me know if you're excited about Jadis showing up. I like Jadis when she wasn't one of the junkyard people. When she was one and she talked like one and she looked like one. She looked ridiculous. She talked ridiculous. And I just was not interested in any of that. Jadis, around the time that she left, like this type of Jadis here, I'm cool with that. And however, I just don't have any hope that they're going to do anything substantial with her in The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2. I think it's just a gimmick to kind of like put her in there, show her off in promos, tease a little bit, because we know this is the organization and everything else that they teased up until now with the organization and the military aspect. It's just not enough of substance, and I think the reason for that is because they have to hold a lot back for the Rick movies. If you give too much of the meat in all the spin-offs, you're either going to be repeating yourself for the Rick movies, or you're just going to confuse people who are watching the Rick movies only, and they haven't checked out all these spin-offs, Fear or World Beyond, that are tied into it. So I think structure-wise, I think they're setting themselves up for failure just by trying to use this gimmick to lure fans in, to rope them in, to watch these spin-offs. I think it would be better to have, these side facilities that aren't directly related to Rick. We can see offshoots of that. I mean, you can even have something as simple as Rick being patched up. You could have had that to some degree. We know it's Rick. As fans, we know it's Rick, but you got a guy that looks like Rick with a breather on. You do small stuff like that, but then you're showing a fleshed out feel of what the CRM is, and he could be, and this is how you would try to work it in there, he could be in the section of the CRM compound that is, or not even the community, the settlement of the CRM that has the best medical equipment, just to let you know. So then when we watch the movies, and again, here's where it gets tricky. Well, are you skipping that aspect? Because Rick was injured. He had a rebarb go right through his guts. You know what I'm saying? He has to heal. So we have to see him or find out that he healed over a period of time. And I say that not because of sticking to the realism, but that healing that healing time frame for Rick is going to be the most crucial, because it's right when he's getting to the CRM. So it's right when he's getting adjusted to it, when he's experiencing it, unless he was in a medical induced coma or whatever it is, until he was healing up. And then we catch up with Rick when he's healing from his wounds and this, that, and the third. So that's why I think it's a little too complicated, intertwining all these, especially with the delays and the COVID and everything else they got going on. The timing was just bad and off. But Jadis is in it. And I think I'll end with this. And this has nothing to do with the actress at all, or the character at all. I think it's cool that we're getting characters. We're not just forgetting about them. We have them doing stuff. Like Dwight. I don't want to just throw Dwight off to the side since all that war is over and forget about him. Give him stuff to do. I would just rather he's on the main show. Morgan too. But even if she's in it, does that matter? I mean, if they're not revealing much, obviously this is the most important thing. The cast, the crew, the characters in World Beyond don't know who Rick is. They don't know to ask about Rick. There's no reason for them to mention Rick. There's no reason for a conversation to happen. There's no reason for that information to pass from Jadis to the cast, unless she talks about when she first arrived and she brought somebody there. So it would have to do with the testing and what one of the sisters is up to. They took one of the sisters away to the site. So it would be like a couple sentences. Well, I brought a leader, a popular leader, someone that was revered, or yet whatever she says, a strong, someone that is could get a lot of people to follow the multiple different communities. It'd be a few sentences. Is that enough? A few sentences, a side remark, a few hints of what happened to Rick and Jadis and how this all popped off. Is that enough for you? I want you to leave your thoughts and opinions about all that down in the comment box. And don't forget, the straw poll is in the comments and the video description. All right, I'm out of here because my daughter's going to bug me about something. 3, 2, 1, here she goes. Ow, I got sunburn, bro.